What's up, guys? It's time for the new official tier list in Anime Last Dance, so you guys can know the best units for raids, progressive modes, infinite modes, etc. So let's get into it. But before we do, remember we are doing the 1 million Robux giveaway. All you guys have to do to enter is like the video and subscribe to the channel. We're gonna be giving away 1 million Robux when we hit 1 million subscribers, which is gonna be sooner than you think. So hit the subscribe button and stay tuned for that big giveaway, guys. All right, here we go. All right, let's start off with the best farm units in the game. We got Idol. She also gives range, so she's also a good support unit. And then the Speedwagons are not that great. Even Waifu Speedwagon isn't as good. Yojin's also really good. However, Idol's also meta for summer portals, which is good for getting the shards, for like the mythic shards, legendary shards. So keep that in mind as well if you still have any summer portals left. And then otherwise, Yojin is the way to go. So Yojin is very, very good. All right, next up, guys, we got the best support units for like stories, etc. All right, first up, it's always recommended you use Escanor. The main reason you want to use Escanor is he gives you 20% damage. That's why he's in the support tier. This is a slow unit. I don't know what he does quite yet. I need to look it up. And this guy does everything, man. So Gojo is very, very good. Garo, I don't like Garo anymore. Please don't. I don't like him. But Gojo is kind of my go-to. If you guys are to get one of the new units in the update, Gojo is the easiest unit to get. That's also still freaking meta OP. This guy right here is busted. All right, get him. I'm gonna be getting him ASAP. One of my friends has him with glitch, and he solos the early game so easily. It's insane. And then here are the other good early game units you guys can use. However, this guy is absolutely busted. All right, I'm gonna get him ASAP. My other two favorite hill units are Benamaru. He's really good, and I personally use Ascended Mage, but she's actually not that great. Rengoku's also pretty good as well, so these two are very, very good options for you guys. Tatsumaki has slow, which is kind of nice, and Law is okay, but not the greatest. But these Benamaru specifically is so good, so get him or get Rengoku. The nice thing about Rengoku is he's a joke to get. Like, he's so easy to get, like it's ridiculous. So this is the tier list for story modes and other progressive modes like Infinity Castle. All right, next up we have the elemental list. So these are the best units with each element. So light units, I would definitely go with Gojo. Julius is actually surprisingly good. She's okay as well. Like, honestly, all these units are very good. This guy is good for early game, like I said earlier. And Gojo's good for late game. His DPS is very good. So I would say these two are like my go-to right here. And if you want a hill unit, she's not too bad either. And Julius is full AoE as well, so like honestly he's underrated. So honestly, all these units are great. I'd probably skip these two though. And Gojo, obviously you want to evo him, so keep that in mind. But I would skip these two. I wouldn't bother grinding for them. Now there's a ton of dark units in the game, but Benamaru is the best for early game. And Sukuna has the highest DPS in the game, but Guts is also very good with his good AoE, so keep that in mind. So these would be my 3 picks if I were to pick some units. The rest of them are all right, but honestly, they're not that great. Sid's okay, but Sukuna's just better. So Sukuna's the GOAT, and these 3 are the ones I would go for. I'd personally skip the rest. Like, I'd just skip them. But these 3, oh, so good. All right, nature units, there's not really that many. Honestly, guys, the new ones are underrated. Hikari's actually pretty good. Like, definitely decent. The rest of them, I'd kind of skip. Like, personally, I wouldn't even bother with these 4. Like, I wouldn't even try to grind for them. They're pretty easy to get, I'd say, but like these 4 are just head and shoulders above the rest. And Hikari has the 777% crit damage boost, so keep that in mind. So if you get him, make sure you have the crit, something that gives him a good crit. Otherwise, you're gonna be missing out on 777% damage. It's insane. Water units, actually Noelle is the one I'd go for. She's actually secretly busted OP. So the rest of them, I don't really like Garo that much. And Katakuri's all right. But just so you guys know, she is secretly busted. All right, fire units wise, we kind of already go over this. Like, there's a lot of good units in the game. This guy has a really good DPS, but he's infinite mode only. So if you're on infinite mode, he's good. Escanor is just great in general. Rengoku's great in general. Toto's also pretty good as well. Ichigo's okay. And this guy's also pretty good if you're a newer player and don't have any of the better units yet. He's pretty easy to evo. Well, somewhat easy to evo, and he's actually really good for what he is. The rest of them, I'd probably skip. Like, I wouldn't even bother with Itachi. Ichigo, he's optional. These two, I would just skip. All right, so there's all the elemental ones. Also, again, big shout out to this guy. Also, apparently there's a few things that are messed up. I'll go over that in a second. But yeah, big shout out to Upmarks and WOU for the tier list. All right, let's get it. So here we go, guys. Let's go for the meta overall and the infinite mode list. So we kind of already went through a bunch of these units. So we'll just talk about them real quick. So these are all the good supports you guys can use. Like, if you're not like a pro player trying to go for leaderboards or anything, you can use those. Good ground, and they're kind of mid. Good hill hybrid. These ones are all decent, but the units above them just have like 10 to 20 to 30% more DPS. But these are all fairly easy to get units. So that's kind of the difference between these ones and some of the meta ones. All right, so meta support, Escanor for the damage, Sukuna for the range, Shanks because he has this cool like Conqueror's hockey thing. Meta ground, Kaiju number 8. He's really easy to get and he's actually really good. So highly recommended you guys get him. The rest are all right. Meta hill, honestly, you guys kind of already know these. Gojo is the easiest to get and he's busted. All right, so please get Gojo. He is so easy to get compared to how good he is. He's freaking busted. And he's also meta support. He's meta support and meta damage. And he's a top 10 DPS. All right, you see this, guys? Gojo is the GOAT. Gojo is the GOAT. All right. So DPS-wise, Escanor and Sukuna are good, and Guts. So the nice thing about Guts is he has a really good AoE. So that's kind of what makes him good. Sukuna's AoE is also pretty good. But overall, they're all great units to have. So these are the top units in the game. Top 10 DPS. She's actually still there, guys. Division captain. She's pretty easy to get. And meta overall up there at the top. So hope you guys enjoy the tier list. A big shout out to the whole tier list team. And catch you guys in the next one. Peace.